Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're setting aside all the sort of superficial romantic ideas and wading into something much deeper. We're going into the complex, maybe even life-altering spiritual concept of the twin flame.
It's a concept that gets so muddled. You know, people talk about their twin flame and they're really just mixing it up with a soulmate or the one.
Right.
But the spiritual experts we've been looking at, especially the work of author Cassidy Cain, they frame it as something, well, far more precise. It's spiritually intense, and really it's all about evolution.
And that distinction is basically our mission for this deep dive. We're taking Cain's spiritual blueprint and we're going to unpack it.
Exactly. We're looking at the core definition and the 10 key signs that, according to her framework, prove you've met the, let's call it the energetic reflection of your soul.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, let's start with the most crucial distinction you need to get right away. A twin flame connection is not primarily about romance.
Not about romance.
No, I mean, it absolutely can become romantic, but its fundamental purpose is spiritual growth. It's an accelerator for your soul.
So it could be a platonic thing?
It could easily be a best friend, a mentor, even a sudden, intense connection with a coworker. The intensity of the bond is the key, and it's soul-based, not just romantic.
And when you say intensity, I mean, the stakes here sound enormous. The sources are really clear on this.
Oh, absolutely. Cain describes meeting your twin flame as the most intense, powerful, and life-changing relationship of your life. It is literally designed to shatter your status quo.
It's a cosmic spark.
The ultimate cosmic spark. Just meeting this person can cause what people call a spiritual wake up. Your consciousness shifts instantly, and it forces this deep internal work that changes every other relationship you have.
Including the one with yourself.
Especially the one with yourself and your entire life path. It's this powerful, unavoidable catalyst.
Okay, let's unpack that catalyst. If this is meant to wake us up, to trigger these massive shifts, where does the evidence start? What are the things you notice right away?
Precisely. The first signs are all about that immediate kind of instinctual recognition and a really profound energetic shift in your body.
So sign number one, this is the one that feels the most pervasive, maybe even a little cliche, but we have to get into the depth of it. It's that feeling.
That you've known them forever.
Exactly. Even if you just met.
Right. And the superficial take is just, oh, this person is familiar or they're easy to talk to. But the twin flame definition is so much deeper.
How so?
Cain says it's not just comfort, it's an unspoken feeling of homecoming. It's a distinct and profound calmness that comes over you.
So it's your soul recognizing its mirror.
Yes, not just a friendly face. It's like an automatic download of information. You feel like you have this full knowledge of their deepest self without needing to, trade life stories for 3 hours.
You just get them.
You get them and they get you almost instantly. It's because your core frequencies are a perfect match.
That's compelling. Yeah. But let's move to sign two, which is less about instinct and more about a physical, almost clinical reaction. Chakra tingling.
Yeah.
That sounds very spiritual textbook.
It does, and this is where we have to separate it from just being nervous or excited. When you meet your twin flame, your body can react with these unmistakable symptoms of energy activation.
Like what?
The source material often talks about heart palpitations, a buzzing or tingling feeling, or even sudden heat in specific parts of your body when you're near them.
But wait, how do we distinguish that from, classic anxiety?
Really?
Or just really strong sexual chemistry? I mean, a lot of people get butterflies.
That's the essential question. Cain suggests the differences in the nature of the feeling. Anxiety feels frantic, right? It's draining.
Yeah.
And intense attraction can be kind of consuming. Twin flame energy, though, is described as productive. It feels like it's healing something. It's often centered around the heart chakra, and it doesn't feel like panic. It feels like an internal circuit just came online.
So your body's basically confirming that this intense spiritual work is starting just by being near them.
Exactly. And that feeling of being pulled leads right into sign number 3, magnetism.
And the sources insist this is spiritual, not just sexual.
That's vital. This isn't just chemistry. It's the energy of your core self trying to merge with its reflection. You feel physically pulled toward them without a logical reason. It's like a gravitational force.
The line there must feel incredibly thin for most people, though, between a spiritual pull and just raw attraction. How do you know?
The spiritual pull is characterized by a feeling of relief. Like when they sit next to you, you might notice your shoulders physically relax.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, a tension you didn't even know you were carrying just disappears. Or you might notice their body language, like their feet are always pointed toward you, even when they're talking to someone else. It's the energy bodies orienting towards each other.
It's a silent physical language.
It is. Which brings us to sign number 4, which is just as communicative, but totally silent. Intense eye contact.
We've all had that awkward staring contest moment.
Right, but this is different. The twin flame connection allows for this prolonged, deep, and completely comfortable eye contact. You can hold their gaze for ages and it doesn't feel weird or competitive.
It's a feeling of safety, like you're being seen.
Yes, exactly. You can communicate so fluently with just your eyes. You're speaking volumes without a single word because you're essentially looking into a mirror of your own soul.
Okay, so moving past those initial sparks, we get into this deeper idea of synchronization. This brings us to sign number 5. Your lives are in parallel.
And this is where the term twin flame really makes sense. Cain is very clear that you're not a split half of a soul. You are whole on your own.
The other person is a reflection, a mirror.
A mirror, designed to show you things about yourself. And this manifests in these deep parallel themes in your lives, even before you meet.
What kind of things?
It could be experiencing similar childhood trauma at the same age, or having parallel career shifts, or just hitting the same emotional milestones at the same time. The synchronicity shows your lives were echoing each other all along.
And when you discover that, what does it do? Does it just feel like destiny?
It's transformative because you realize that this specific burden you thought you carried alone, they were carrying a version of it on a parallel track. It reframes the whole experience.
So it's not a lonely burden anymore.
No, it becomes a shared cosmic event. It confirms that everything that shaped you was actually preparing you for this connection.
That synchronicity then bleeds out into the world around you, which is sign number 6. Seeing signs frequently.
The classic 11.11 on the clock.
Yeah, or seeing their name everywhere, repeated numbers, animals.
And according to this framework, seeing those signs means your eternal soul self is actively waking up. The universe, or your spirit guides, are using these signs as triggers to help you recognize the connection because it can be so overwhelming.
But what about confirmation bias? If I'm looking through the number 11, I'm going to see it everywhere. How do I know it's real?
That's where your intuition comes in. Cain insists intuition is the filter. The number itself is just the trigger. The important part is the feeling that comes with it. Okay.
When you see 11.11, your intuition tells you if it's a sign you're on the right path, or if it's a gentle nudge to get you back on track. It's the inner knowing that validates the outer sign.
And that idea of knowing leads right into sign number 7, feeling like you are on the same wavelength.
And this is so much more than just liking the same movies or whatever.
Right, it's not simple compatibility.
Not at all. It's foundational. The whole connection is based on having an identical core energy frequency, a spiritual identifier that no one else in the universe shares with you. You're humming at the same vibration.
So what does that mean for actual communication?
It means the need for translation just vanishes.
Yeah.
You understand their language, even when they aren't speaking clearly. They don't just finish your sentences. They understand the entire emotional history behind the sentence before you even say it.
Okay, so now we're getting to the consequences. The why of all this. Profound self-transformation. This starts with sign number 8. You are not just your best self. You are your most self. Yeah, and most good relationships help you improve, right? They bring out your best self.
Mm-hmm.
The twin flame awakening goes deeper. Because it triggers your spiritual memory, it forces this, sometimes uncomfortable, shift toward your truest self. All the inauthentic layers you've built up, the masks, the coping mechanisms, they just start to dissolve.
Because the mirror is showing you exactly what isn't real.
Exactly. And because you know they will never misunderstand who you are at your core, that unconditional acceptance is this huge driver for being authentic. The clarity you gain is staggering.
Which leads to sign number 9, experiencing intuitive abilities you never had before.
This is maybe the most esoteric part.
Yeah, the spiritual consciousness reawakening. How does this connection actually trigger new powers?
Cain explains that when twin flames reconnect, especially through a profound energetic intimacy, they're literally brought back online with their eternal presence. The spiritual consciousness that was dormant in your busy human life gets reset.
So merging those identical energies flips a switch on these dormant spiritual circuits.
Precisely. And it leads to tangible new abilities. You might just start knowing things with total certainty, bypassing logic. Or you might see flashes of energy or hear clear guiding answers in your head that don't feel like they're coming from you.
That's a massive shift in how you perceive reality.
It is.
And finally, to wrap up the list, the most subconscious sign of all. Number 10, having an increase in dream activity when you meet.
This one really just confirms how intense the internal processing is. Finding your twin flame just ignites your subconscious. Your soul is trying to process the recognition, the healing, so your dreams go into overdrive.
And the detail here is fascinating. It's not just more dreams.
No. Many people realize after meeting their twin flame that they had actually dreamed about this specific person before. Their face, their energy, the place they met, long before it ever happened in real life.
Wow.
It's the ultimate confirmation that the soul was preparing for this all along.
So we've covered the whole blueprint, the immediate recognition, the synchronicity, and the huge self-transformation. What's the one thing you want the listener to take away from all this?
I think it's that the twin flame connection is a spiritual mirror, and it's designed entirely for accelerated growth. It's marked by these deep, often overwhelming, energetic symptoms and shared life parallels, all stemming from that unique, identical core energy.
So it's not just intense chemistry.
No, it's a forced and beautiful and necessary evolution.
And for you, the learner, this deep dive gives you those specific markers. We've laid out the physical, the energetic, and the parallel life evidence, the 10 specific ways to identify if that person in your life is, in fact, your ultimate spiritual trigger.
Which leaves us with a final provocative thought. Since this relationship is all about reawakening your consciousness and spiritual growth,
Right.
if the connection itself is the trigger for your truest self, for that clarity and those new intuitive powers, what happens to all that self-knowledge and that spiritual awakening if the relationship runs its course?
Platonic or romantic?
Either way, does the profound self-transformation remain once the catalyst that sparked it is gone?
Something to consider as you navigate the sparks in your own life. That was the deep dive